everyone, and welcome back to another speed video. My name is Michaela, and today I am building a restaurant. And this is probably the second restaurant I have ever built. And you know what? I actually liked how it turned out. I am building this in Delso Valley, kind of like pretty much everything I built aside from the houses that I've been building. But if you have been watching my Let's Play, it is based in Delso Valley and Get Famous, so I kind of wanted to create the community lots and also the residential lots as well. I may in the future try to renovate the mansions in the pinnacles, but we'll see. But anyways, so I did have a lot of fun with this restaurant. It is only one story because I felt like that was just enough room. And I didn't try to make it like too terribly fancy, but also like kind of like a step up. Like it's not McDonald's, but it's not like some super fancy like steakhouse or anything. The menu is pretty like average, I guess. I tried to kind of incorporate some cheaper things, but also a lot of more expensive things as well. And so right now I'm just working on the exterior. I decided I want to go with more of a darker wall paint, exterior, whatever it is on the outside. And I did want to have a little patio seating area because I always love restaurants that do have those seating areas outside. And I made sure to incorporate a lot of windows because I did work in a restaurant for about 2 years, and a lot of people always want to sit by the window, which I get. I like looking outside too when I'm out at a restaurant. And then I just started placing some of these umbrella tables. I can't remember if we got these umbrella tables from Backyard Stuff or what was it, Perfect Patio Stuff. It was one of the two. A lot of the packs kind of just blend together for me, I guess. But I felt like it was kind of a lot out here, so I tried to just stick with a couple. And then I also stuck some of those tables that don't have any umbrellas either. So I imagine that this would be the area that you would request to sit in. Unless like everything inside was totally filled. And then the host would be like, would you mind like sitting outside or something? I don't know. The restaurant that I worked at, there was no outside seating area, so I've never had to deal with that. And yeah, so I'm just kind of going around. I didn't put on move objects on just yet, just because I wanted to make sure that Sims could get into this area, since it's kind of important that Sims can sit down at a restaurant. Although there is, of course, the seating areas inside, so they'll have that too. And I made sure to put some of these little patio warmers, or whatever they're called, just so when it's a little bit colder out, then Sims can still sit outside if they want. Although, just like me personally, I feel like if I'm at a restaurant, if it's cold outside, I'm not sitting outside. But you never know, some people might have like what they want. And then on the inside, on the very corner, I am going to put a bathroom there, although I don't work on that until later because bathrooms are always really boring for me to work in because they're pretty much the same every single time, just like a different color scheme or whatever. And so over here is where I'm going to put the kitchen. I did put a lot of exposed brick everywhere. So you're going to see that in the rest of the restaurant too. And I try to pair it with like another type of wallpaper. And so, yeah, so I'm putting the kitchen right here. I did playtest this and everything worked fine. I had my sim go have a meal. That worked out. There were 2 cooks in here because I do put 2 little cook stations over there. There was the waitress, the hostess. Yeah, everything worked out really, really good. And so over in this corner right here is where I'm putting like the little dishwasher station, even though there are no actual dishwashers in the game. But, I feel like that's also very important. So it's just kind of for the aesthetic of it. And I did want to put like a little table in between the 2 areas. So that way the cooks would have more space to work in, even though it doesn't really work out that way. I don't even think they even need like additional counter space, but I just wanted to have it in there. So then I do end up making just a nice little area on this wall over here. I did have to mess around with move objects just a little bit, just because the way that I eventually have it said that it was glitching a lot and it was kind of annoying me. I mean, I guess if you download this and play it, then you won't really see it unless you want to run a restaurant, which I ran a restaurant before and it was a lot of fun. And I think part of that just comes from like I understand the business a little bit since I was a waitress for so long, but I don't know. And so yeah, over here is when I kind of start messing around with trying to make sure it fits pretty well and also just making sure that nothing glitches. Because I don't know about you, but it always really annoys me when things start to glitch out a lot. I don't know. And so I also put a lot of clutter over here. And so obviously I need to use a lot of stuff from Dine Out because restaurants, obviously. And then I also use quite a bit of stuff from Cool Kitchen since, Cool Kitchen stuff. So there's an obvious right there too. And also, as usual, just a variety of different packs. I am thinking about trying to limit myself for a future build video. So if you're interested in that, please leave a comment down below. If there's any packs that you specifically want, please feel free to request that. I don't have all of the packs, but I do have a lot of them. So there's probably a good chance that I'll have what you request. But anyways, so I'm still just kind of trying to tweak everything and just moving the counters out so I can move the clutter around and make sure it's in like the spot that I want. I kind of hate how everything just kind of clicks onto different surfaces because I'm the type of person that like wants my clutter to be in a specific spot. And like it's not hard or anything the way that we have to do it. It's just kind of a nuisance sometimes. I don't know. It is what it is. Maybe in the future we'll have it. And so, yeah, I put this little chalkboard thing over here. Yeah, that thing. And I imagine that might be like an 86 board or something. Or just other types of information that the staff might need to know. And then I did put a little counter on the edge right there. Just because there is that little awkward empty space. So I wanted to make sure it was filled. And then over here is where I kind of tweak things a little bit more because I did want to have the host station outside. Because I was remembering just restaurants that I've been to in the past. And I always like the restaurants where they have like the hostess outside. I don't know why. And so over here, I did try to put that big booth in the corner. But then I realized after I put all of this together that these booths that I'm placing right now are actually bigger and they're kind of going on the outside. Yeah, that's kind of the cons of using move objects, I guess. But, and I will notice it in a little bit. You see right there, you can see through the window. But you know what I don't get about this really big booth in the corner is why the ends of it don't stick out. Like, I never want to place it next to these regular booths because it just looks weird. But I do have to tweak the walls a little bit, but it's fine. It's not like there was any intensive roofing or anything, so it worked out. And then I wasn't quite sure where I wanted anything else to go. I did put like a little bar area in this corner right here. And I imagine that it would be like when you go to a restaurant and the hostess will ask like, is everyone of age? If so, you can go ahead and just wait in the bar area. So I thought that was really nice. And then I had to put a lot of decoration up there, of course. And I do eventually have it just like completely closed out with a complete wall. And then I also have a door that goes in there. I did think about having it just be like a VIP section for a celebrity since we are in Del Sol Valley, but then I decided just to stick with a regular door because I feel like it would be kind of unfair if only celebrities could go into the bar. I don't know. So then I just stick with a regular door. And I did like having windows out there, but I do put one of the tables that are like bar height, and I felt like it was really weird being in front of the window, so I do end up changing that a little bit. And then right now I'm just kind of testing things out, just making sure that I have the door where the bathroom door where I want it. Per usual, I'm just kind of going all over the place, but that's just kind of how I build sometimes. And now I'm just putting some more seating and a little bar area. I kind of just stuck with tables in here, but I liked how it ended up working out. And throughout this entire build, I do try to put up a lot of decorations, especially a lot of decorations that come with Get Famous, just because I am personally placing this in my Get Famous LP. So no, I just wanted to stick with it. But if you do decide to download this, I will be putting this on the gallery. My origin ID is mikaelaholly, which will be linked in the description as well at the end of the video. Please feel free to download this, make any types of changes. I mean, I just really like building. But anyways, so in this little corner, I decided to have like the little server like bus station, I guess. And I decided to put that in the corner away from all the tables because when I was a server, a lot of people just hated being seated next to these little bus stations, which I totally get. But usually people would only complain when the restaurant was like completely filled out and that was like the only option they had. So, I mean, I'm nice. Like, I'm not gonna throw a fit or anything. So I would always tell them, like, oh yeah, that's fine. You'll just have to wait a little bit. And let me tell ya, people would be angry if you told them they had to wait any longer. They just got angry over the littlest things. Like, I have so many stories that I could tell you guys. Like, okay, it wasn't this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. So what was that, like 2017, I think? But anyways, so the restaurant that I did work at, it was a 24-hour type of thing and open every single day. So on Christmas and like the big holidays, so basically just Thanksgiving and Christmas, every single person had to work. At least at this one that I worked at. I worked at two of like the same restaurant, like as a corporate thing. But anyways, so at this one, every single person had to work. So there I was working, and it was only like a 3-hour shift. However, our special for the day, it was like, it came with like a soup or salad and also a piece of pie. And obviously the cooks will make like the main course, but then the servers have to get the salads, soups, and desserts, which really adds up when you have like a whole section to yourself and everyone's ordering the same thing and like everyone wants their salads and soups and pies all at the same time. And it gets stressful. And I'm a very stressed out person and just a very sensitive person, and I cry a lot. So anyways, I ended up reading this lady the wrong Sunday, and she started yelling at me. And like, I'm usually pretty good with like my crying, and I don't tend to cry in front of customers. I mean, I've definitely had panic attacks in front of customers, but that's only if they're like really, really bad. But I was just so like overwhelmed with everything, so I started crying. But she ended up tipping me $20, given it was a bigger table, so it was probably like a good tip. Anyways, but some people don't tip very well. So, moral of the story, if you cry, then you get tipped $20. But I would recommend that you don't cry because it's just kind of embarrassing and then it just like ruins your day a little bit. But I mean, hey, I got extra money out of it. And that's happened a few times. Like, there's another time I had a table. This guy ordered a nacho appetizer, and they were freaking huge at the restaurant I was at. Like, most of the appetizers costed like $5, but this one costed $10, so it was pretty big. And it came out really fast. I mean, the cooks had to go make that too. So anyways, I bring it out, and then their like main dish ended up coming out really fast, which is a good thing, because then they're not waiting forever. And so then this guy started yelling at me and saying, well, I'm obviously not going to finish these nachos, so I refuse to pay for it. And that was like my first table of the day. And it's always the first table that is like I'm not prepared for or anything. So if it just takes a wrong turn, then, I don't even know what's happening. So I immediately started having a panic attack because I have really bad anxiety and stuff like that. It just makes me really anxious. And probably not the best job for me, but hey, I managed 2.5 years through it. But they ended up feeling really bad. I actually went up to the other server and I was like, hey, you need to go deal with this because I can't. I had to like go in the back and like take just like 2 minutes. It usually only took like 2 minutes. But anyways, he ended up apologizing. And I can't remember if he took me very well or not, but he apologized at least, which was worth more to me anyways. But geez, people are crazy at restaurants. Like, you wouldn't think they would be. But I think a lot of their mindsets is like, oh, she just works at this dumb old job. Like, it's not that hard. But it really is hard. Because, like, you'll have, like, 5 tables at once. Like, 3 of them show up at the same time. Because your manager decides to triple seat you. And then, like, you have to take orders, remember their drinks, remember their stupid ranch that you keep forgetting about like 5 times in a row. You know, it's just a jolly old time. But I do think that it was like a good experience for me because it taught me how to deal with difficult people. And I did a major in education in college. So I took that a lot with me when I was student teaching and had to deal with both difficult students and difficult parents. But anyways, back to the build. I do put a lot of decorations just around the place, and like I said earlier, I did really like having the exposed brick everywhere. I thought it was just a nice touch. And I'm sorry my voice is like being all weird again. This is actually the second time that I've done this voiceover because I don't know how to work this new video editor that I'm using. And so, yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so I wanted to have like a really dark atmosphere in the restaurant, and I think that's just a personal taste of mine, because when I remember mentioning when I did my lunch build that I also liked having like that dark atmosphere, so I wanted to kind of keep that in here. And I don't know, I love going to restaurants that have like a darker feel to them, because it just makes it feel a lot more cozy, I guess. The restaurant that I worked at, it was really bright and stuff. And maybe that's why I like darker restaurants, because I worked at a brighter one. I don't know, something like that. And so I put this sign up there. I imagine that this would probably be like the restaurant name or something like that. And I mean, I don't know what it's supposed to say in Simlish, but probably something fancy, I would guess, but not too fancy. And then I was trying to put a little bit more decorations over here. I do eventually go with like those things. I don't know what they're called, but it just ended up being a little bit too much for me. So then I eventually go with these little fishes, which I thought was just a nice little touch. And I tried to incorporate just a couple of plants, not too many, but just like enough to make it like a nice little touch. And then that was where I work on the bathroom. I mean, pretty typical of what any other bathroom that I've ever had in my community lots. There is 5 stalls. It is gender neutral, so it won't be annoying to try to go in there, but then you click on the male one, not the female one. And yeah, again, pretty typical. Toilets. I put the toilet paper roll. Like, I don't know what it is about the toilet paper roll, but I like have to have it in every single bathroom, or else like it's incomplete. And then I just put one piece of art. I also put a bin over here. I think altogether I have like 4 bins in this build, but you only need like 1. At least I think. I don't think I actually checked the requirements, but I kind of knew what restaurants needed. Because, you know, obviously the cook stations, the server cleanup, blah, blah, blah. And I do remember to put the blinds up everywhere. So I thought that was a nice little touch. And in my head, that was because when this restaurant closes, then the servers or whatever wait staff would want to close them. The restaurant that I worked at, first we were 24 hours open, and then they changed it to closing it at like 1 or 2 a.m. And one of our closing tasks were to make sure that the blinds were closed. And I think part of that was just so people knew like, okay, it's dark, it's closed now. And you know, it's really hard when your restaurant has been 24 hours for so long and then you start closing, because then more people yell at you. And it's just not a fun time. But anyways, I did work in the night mode over here because I wanted to see what this restaurant looked like during the nighttime. And I did want to stick with that darker atmosphere inside, so I just kind of changed it a little bit just to kind of keep that aesthetic in there. And I do put these little like very light or whatever. These ones are from like the taller stuff pack. And the one at the end over here, I did have to make it just a little bit smaller, but I mean, I think it still kind of worked. And like, I don't know, I just felt like it added like that nice little touch. And I don't know, I just liked it a lot. And then I also put these wall lights next to the door as well. And then I put just a little bit of greenery over here. I just wanted to have like just enough, but not like overbearing, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I just kind of tried to stick it just pretty simple, nice. I don't know. I feel like it was a really good touch. And this is actually almost the end of this build. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you're not already, and also give this video a big thumbs up if you like it. I will see you all tomorrow, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.